Hope you're having a great Thursday. Thanks so much for starting the afternoon with us here on THV11. I'm Michael Aaron with meteorologist Nathan Scott, and a pretty shot from RView 11 behind us there with lots of fall colors.
Yeah, the leaves hung on even though we had some gusty winds with that round of showers and storms last night. That was all associated with a cold front, and you can tell the temperature difference out there when you step outside.
It was cold this morning.
Yeah, if you think this morning was cold, just wait. I want to show you the forecast lows for tomorrow morning. But look at this 24-hour temperature difference now. We're about 15 to as much as 21 degrees cooler in Stuttgart and Monticello compared to this time yesterday. It's all because we've got that northerly wind kicking in about 10 to 20 miles per hour, still ripping a lot of leaves off the trees across the region and holding the temperatures down. Right now, temperatures are into the mid to upper 50s across the region. 49 in Harrison. The clouds are continuing to exit over into Mississippi. Still some high clouds lingering across central Arkansas, but the numbers won't budge much at all. I think we've pretty much reached the high for today, and look what happens going into this evening. By 8 o'clock, we're already dropping down into the low 40s. So I'll have more on how cold it's going to get and also the partial lunar eclipse taking place late tonight. It's all coming up later.
Nathan, thank you. New at noon, the Independence County Sheriff's Office is mourning the loss of one of its own. Patrol Deputy Frank Ramirez, who you see right there, died early this morning after a car crash while on duty. In a Facebook post, the Sheriff's Office says, quote, "This is a time of tremendous grief for our agency, his family, and our communities. Pray for Ramirez's family, blood and blue, and our community and our department." OSHA is suspending enforcement of the Biden administration's vaccine mandate for large businesses. Under the new rules, employers with more than 100 employees must require workers to be vaccinated against COVID-19 or undergo weekly testing starting on January 4th. But today's decision put all of that on hold. It comes after a federal appeals court temporarily blocked the mandate. Despite all of that, the agency says it's still confident about the rule and its authority to keep workers safe during an emergency. More Americans may soon be eligible to get COVID-19 vaccine booster shots. FDA authorization for a Pfizer booster for all adults could come at any time. The drug maker filed for authorization last week. The CDC would still need to sign off on the plan. Some states, including right here in Arkansas, are not waiting for any of that. Earlier this week, Governor Asa Hutchinson expanded eligibility for a booster to all Arkansans 18 and older. It has now been 2 weeks since vaccine eligibility opened up to kids 5 to 11. And since then, just over 14,000 children here in Arkansas have gotten their first doses of the vaccine. Now, doctors are urging more parents to follow that lead ahead of the holidays. They say getting your child the first dose by the end of this week sets them up to be fully protected by Christmas.
And right now we're at this magic time where that means 5 weeks from now is Christmas. 5 weeks from now they could be protected. That's the best gift any of us could have, is to be able to be safe and be with our families again.
Dr. Jessica Snowden, who you heard from right there, is the Division Chief of Pediatric Infectious Disease at Arkansas Children's Hospital. She says the vaccine acts as a gateway back to normal childhood, in this case allowing kids to spend time with loved ones mask-free and with fewer worries this holiday season. This recommendation is not just for kids. Snowden encourages parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, everyone else for that matter who's eligible to get their shot, saying it will help our entire state get back to normal. 2 more deadly shootings in Little Rock are adding to an already violent year for the city. It's something the police chief is now addressing as the department searches for answers in these latest homicides. THV11's Jay Jackson spoke with the family of one of the victims, who's now calling for justice.
Police say the first deadly shooting happened here on Geyer Springs and Nova Lane Tuesday afternoon. They found a woman suffering from gunshot wounds inside a vehicle at this intersection. And then 5 hours later, another shooting. And now police and community activists are calling for the violence to stop.
This is getting old.
57 lives now lost to violence so far this year in Little Rock. One of them, 26-year-old Sade Turner.
I don't really know, what happened. You know, I'm hearing this, I'm hearing that.
Her sister, Krishara Blair, says the mother of 4 was expecting a 5th. She was 3 months pregnant.
Oh, she was a good mom. She was pregnant with her 5th child at the time that the stuff happened. Before I even had friends or even knew what a friend was, I had sisters.
Police are now looking for this red Jeep Liberty that has a damaged rear window possibly covered by black plastic. Investigators say it was seen near the shooting.
We really need the public's help in identifying a vehicle.
That second shooting happened just before 9 Tuesday night at a home on Republic Lane, only about a mile from the first shooting. Police tape still blocked off the home on Wednesday as investigators processed the scene.
Little Rock police identified this shooting victim as 18-year-old Xavier Johnson, and his family didn't want to speak to me on camera.
These individuals show no respect for life. They do this and they run under the cover of darkness. And I think the other thing that's really significant is that it's so brazen that you do this in front near the State Highway Patrol office.
2 families left without loved ones, now wanting answers.
Nothing can bring my little sister back. Like, obviously, I just want, like, somebody that know what happened or saw anything. Just want her death to be brought to justice.
In Little Rock, Jay Jackson, THV11 News.
Little Rock police say they're searching for several people involved in the shootings, as well as that red Jeep Liberty. They ask anyone who may have any information on these cases to call the police department. Nationally, the trial in the murder of Ahmaud Arbery continues in Georgia today after a surprise development yesterday. The defense called Travis McMichael, the man who shot Arbery to death, as its first witness. He testified that his father told him to, quote, grab his gun before chasing Ahmaud Arbery through the neighborhood. They claim it was an effort to make a citizen's arrest under a now repealed Georgia law.
Did you want to stop him and hold him so the police could come and arrest him?
That was my plan, yes, sir.
McMichael said he and his father believed Arbery was a burglar after he had been seen at the construction site of an unfinished home. Prosecutors argue there's no evidence justifying the deadly encounter, and there was never an attempt to make a citizen's arrest. Meanwhile, jurors in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial continue their deliberations for a third day. The 18-year-old is charged with killing 2 men and wounding a third at a protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin last year. Yesterday, Rittenhouse's team asked for a mistrial over drone video that shows him killing Joseph Rosenbaum. They had a lower quality version until recently. Prosecutors say they did not intentionally give the defense a different version. The judge says he'll rule on the request if there's a guilty verdict. Hacking and tracking, it's a real concern for a lot of us, especially since experts find that 7 out of 10 homes across America have at least one smart device in them. Those devices, while convenient, can become a way for hackers to worm their way into your world and then track your every move. William Pitt shows us how easy it is for the criminals to take over and what you can do to keep your family safe.
Our homes are getting more connected. Everything's online. Your door, your locks, even your fridge. And that can be kind of scary.
Would you like to play a game?
In the Netflix reboot of the horror flick Scream, the bad guy doesn't even break in.
Doors unlocked.
He just unlocks all the doors remotely.
Doors unlocked.
It's actually not that far-fetched. You can break into internet-connected devices. We've watched security researchers fire a laser at a Google speaker.
It basically hues light.
604.
And tell it to open a garage door.
Okay, opening.
Without hearing any sound or whatsoever, and all of a sudden your smart speaker is responding to an invisible command.
This woman found her baby monitor camera spinning on its own.
Hello.
And a voice talking to her.
Go away.
It's even possible to install spyware on a phone.
I'd wake up in the middle of the night and my phone is next to me on the bed, where I left it, but it's on, it's glowing, and the camera is recording.
Some of these could be hackers typing in code to find an opening, but more likely, they're social engineering. Social engineering means convincing people to just give you their password, like calling someone up and saying you're the IT department. Or finding people that just never change their factory passwords on things.
There's a ton of social engineering that goes on.
John Shire with Sophos, an internet security company, says that's what will get you.
It's really important to understand, the motivation of the attacker as well as their capabilities.
Meaning hackers probably have bigger, richer targets than you. Still, Shire says ransom is ransom.
They're trying to find any angle they can to get money. We are seeing ransomware crews that are focusing on consumers, and but they're not gathering the kinds of sums that we see against corporations.
There are some things you can do. Whenever you get an internet-connected device, always change the username and password. And for those new passwords, pick something hard to guess. The more random, the better. Use different usernames and passwords instead of the same one for everything. And don't write it down on paper. You may as well not even have a password. Easy safety secrets that can keep you and your family safe from scare scenes like the one in the movies.
Doors unlocked.
And that was William Pitts reporting this afternoon. Thanksgiving just 1 week away, and veterinarians are very busy this time of year. We're looking into what Thanksgiving scraps are safe to feed to your furry friends and which ones aren't. That's coming up at 12:15. Nathan.
That's a problem because I usually give my cat, some turkey skin or something like that, so I better stop that, I guess. All right, look at that fall color. It's sticking around for a little bit longer, but we've got some cold temperatures to start off your Friday. Also talking about the partial lunar eclipse tonight, and I'll have a glimpse on what you can expect for the Thanksgiving holiday coming up.